Hello and welcome to Simply Elegant. I'm your host, Joshua McGough. Today we are in the heart of Paradise Valley, Montana in a community called Pine Creek. The Pine Creek Cafe has been here since 1943, but only recently has it become a fine dining establishment. We will be working with executive chef and owner, Dan Shapiro. So come on in and let's see what specialty Montana-made dish he has in store for us. Well, here we are in Pine Creek Cafe, executive chef and owner Dan Shapiro. We're going to be making
trout tacos.
Excellent. Any kind of trout?
Rainbow trout.
Rainbow trout tacos. Excellent.
Sustainably raised rainbow trout.
Excellent. Even better. What are we going to start with?
First, we're going to make the seasoning that you roll the trout in. And that's, I tried to keep it really simple so that I could make it very quickly without a lot of hassle. So the way to make it easier to remember for me is that I started with 4 cups of cornmeal, 2 cups of flour, and then a little less than 1 cup of salt, but it just goes down by half. The reason that I don't use just a standard cup of salt is because I started out that way, but the more you use this seasoning, as you do more and more fish through it, the salt seems to be the last thing that's left in there, so the mixture gets progressively saltier the more you use it. So now I do about 3/4 of a cup. And then all these seasonings, which are cumin, chili powder, thyme, paprika, cayenne pepper, black pepper, and granulated garlic, all are 1 tablespoon each.
Easy.
Again, keeping it simple.
So a recap on this, we have 4 cups.
4 cups cornmeal, 2 cups flour, less than 1 cup of salt, again according to your taste, and then 1 tablespoon each chili powder, thyme, cayenne, cumin, paprika, black pepper, and garlic.
Excellent. And you want it to be a pretty even mixture?
Definitely, yeah. Because if it's not, then especially the salt will stand out too much. You want to get all the lumps out. And if they're sticking in there, you can always speed up the process by doing that.
Preferably with clean hands.
Yeah. Okay, that's all there is to that. So now we skin the trout.
Okay.
This trout I get is already supplied frozen and butterfly cut, which is head and tail removed and most of the bones removed, the spine and the ribs, so the meat is all exposed. All it needs to be is peeled, and this is a really quick and easy way to peel it. Just get it under a little bit of cold running water for a few seconds. That will melt, the skin will be thawed out, but the rest of it is still frozen. Break it along the spine and just peel it off. Try to keep the pressure even on it so you don't break the fish fillet. And I'll just let this one go ahead and thaw in the sink, and then I'll show you how to skin it if you don't have it frozen. So this is what to do if your fish is already thawed out when you get it. Again, this is a butterfly cut. Just want to separate the 2 halves and get rid of that middle connective part. Leave a little bit at the end so you have something to keep your fingers on, something to create some pressure. As soon as the knife blade gets down in there, you want to try to flatten it out. Otherwise, you'll end up cutting through the skin. And a knife, if you're working with trout, a knife that's slightly dull is actually preferable to one that's razor sharp. The razor sharp knife will cut through the skin pretty easily. It's very thin. I'm pulling with the skin more than I'm pushing with the knife. I'm basically just holding the knife in place. Okay, this is how I shred the lettuce for the tacos. If you have a very large head of lettuce or if you have small hands or something, you can go ahead and split it in half to make it easier. Try to group it together as tightly as possible. And I'm very particular about my lettuce. I like it to be as thin as I can get it. I think it just has a lot more delicate look and just works better in the dish that way.
What's the next step?
I think we're ready to assemble it, which means hopefully the taco shells are done toasting, and they are. See how they're a little shiny? You can see the oil coming up out of them. That's a good indicator that they're done toasting. If you're not used to doing that, you'll notice a huge difference. They're a lot crispier and lighter. Untoasted shells have a tendency to be a little bit rubbery.
What kind of cheese are you using?
This is shredded pepper jack cheese.
And I'm sure you could use any cheese
Yeah.
you'd like, whatever.
Yeah. I like the pepper jack because it gives it a little bit of heat. Then I divide this into 3 sections. One for each shell. Corn relish.
What is the makeup of the corn relish?
It's very similar to a pickle relish, only done with corn. It's 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, 1 bag of corn, 1 1/4 cup cider vinegar, and then a little bit of cayenne, black pepper, celery seed, and Dijon mustard, all simmered until the liquid starts to reduce down. You don't want to boil it totally dry, but a nice little bit of syrup in the bottom is good. But yeah, hopefully to save time, you can find it in a grocery store. A lot of specialty markets.
Corn relish.
Yeah, specialty markets would have that.
And this is avocado sauce.
It's avocado sauce, but what it is actually is a blend of avocado dip, like you might find potato chip dip, and sour cream. Just blended together and a little bit of water so that it'll work with the squeeze bottle easier. And enough lettuce on top. I don't like to put too much and cover up the fish completely. I like to be able to see it a little bit through there. Normally I'd be serving these with vegetables and rice, or rice and beans. But since we're just demonstrating the tacos today, I'll use the lime wedge, which would also come with it. I'll use that just to hold them in place.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
Simply elegant. Dan, thank you for having us in your kitchen today.
You're welcome. Thanks a lot, Josh.
Well, thank
That
you.
was fun.
Yeah.